Hi there, welcome again to my channel. Today our topic is about LET Reviewer or Licensure Examination for Teachers Reviewer in English. This time, the video is intended for those who are planning to take the board exam for teachers. Number 1. Which of these words is an example of slang? A. Spyware, B. Goalie, C. Ammo, and D. Scrub suit. The correct answer here is option C. Ammo. Ammo is the clip form of ammunition. Which among the list of activities below should be least prioritized or used in an ASP class? A. Simulation, B. Feasibility studies, C. Case studies, and D. Research. The correct answer here is option A. Simulation. All other options are activities in an ASP class. Which is a jargon of academe? A. Pedagogy, B. Leverage, C. Deficit, B. Bureaucracy. The correct answer here is option A. Pedagogy. Other options are jargons of other disciplines. Number 5. Which is an example of a course for English for occupational purposes or EOP? English for counseling, B. English for classroom, C. English for technicians, and D. English for social advocacy. The correct answer here is option C. English for technicians. Other options are not specific to a particular discipline. Which of the following written outputs does not qualify as a product of English for academic purposes or EAP? A. Annual reports, B. Financial reports, C. Laboratory reports, and D. Thesis abstracts. The correct answer here is option A. Annual reports. Annual reports are outputs of established agencies or offices. An important step in ensuring the relevance of the instructional materials to the rest of the curriculum is to keep a list of A. Policies issued by DepEd, vision and mission of the school, goals and objectives of the school, and curriculum standards. The correct answer here is option C. Goals and objectives of the school. The other choices are broad statements to serve as basis in establishing relevance of instructional materials. The syllabus is given examples by the following activities: writing notes and memos, reports, agendas, letter to companies, and reply letters. A. Situational syllabus, B. Grammatical syllabus, C. Task-based syllabus, and D. Topical syllabus. The correct answer here is option C. Task-based syllabus. Situational syllabus uses situations. Grammatical syllabus uses grammar points, whereas topical syllabus uses content topics of an area of discipline. The primary end of second language teaching using the audiolingual method is reading comprehension, vocabulary development, literary appreciation, oral proficiency. The correct answer here is option D. Oral proficiency. ALM emphasizes correct pronunciation and repetition of the target language. Newspaper articles, advertisement, radio announcement, etc. in the real world when used in the classroom situations are classified as authentic materials, mass communication materials, audiovisual aids, recycled materials. The correct answer here is option A. Authentic materials. The other materials are intended for classroom use. A plan of what to be achieved through the teaching and learning process, which contains the course description, objectives, the prerequisites, the requirements, and the topics to be taught, is the course outline, curriculum guide, course syllabus, lesson plan. The correct answer here is option C. Course syllabus. The other choices do not contain the same components. The content of the language teaching in this type of syllabus is a collection of specific abilities that may play a part in using language, which is referred to skill-based syllabus, task-based syllabus, content-based syllabus, notional functional syllabus. The correct answer here is option A. Skill-based syllabus. TBS uses holistic and lifelike tasks. CBS uses content or topics of the discipline, and NFS uses concept and functions of language. Which conversational maxim is violated in this utterance? In the classroom, the students are noisy. The teacher spoke loud. Class, I really appreciate your behaving quietly today. You see, we can smoothly and clearly discuss our lesson. Quality, quantity, relation, manner. The correct answer here is option A. Quality. This item measures understanding of pragmatic theory. The aspect of communicative competence that deals with the appropriate use of communication and coping strategies is known as blank competence. Discourse, sociolinguistic, grammatical, strategic. The correct answer here is option D. Strategic. Which of the following has a glottal segment? Hot, sad, mad, damn. The correct answer here is option A. Hot. Glottal refers to the space between the vocal cords in which the primary constriction is at the glottis. The study of illocutionary acts is an area of blank. Pragmatics, semantics, morphology, syntax. The correct answer here is option A. Pragmatics. Pragmatics is the study of how language is affected by the context in which it occurs. Mary thinks that she is the only girl who can sing the song. Obviously, she refers to Mary. What concept in referential semantics explains the italicized word? A. Deixis, anaphora, conference, prototype. The correct answer here is option B. Anaphora. Anaphora refers to a linguistic expression that must have another linguistic expression to refer to. What truth relation is exemplified in this pair of sentences? Sentence A. The fisherman caught a fish. Sentence B. The fisherman caught a milkfish. Sentence A presupposes sentence B. Sentence B presupposes sentence A. And sentence A entails sentence B. And sentence B entails sentence A. The correct answer here is option D. Sentence B entails sentence A. Only choice D can be accepted as logical since catching a milkfish entails catching a fish. What is the classification of the morpheme in each of the following linguistic data? Invert, covert, revert, subvert, divert. A. Grammatical bound morpheme. B. Lexical free morpheme. C. Grammatical free morpheme. D. Lexical bound morpheme. The correct answer here is option D. Lexical bound morpheme. The verb in the set of words is a morpheme that cannot stand alone. The vowels in the words pet, but, say, and sue are blank. A. Positive high. B. Positive low. C. Negative high and low. D. Positive tense. The correct answer here is option C. Negative high and low. All of the vowels in the words are mid-vowels. A mid-vowel in the vowel chart is represented as negative high and negative low. Let's survey the place. The morpheme surveil is an example of blank. Root creation, derivation, back formation, clipping. The correct answer here is option C. Back formation. Surveil is a back formation of the word surveillance. In the phrase structure rules, a prepositional phrase consists of preposition followed by a blank. Noun, objective pronoun, noun phrase, clause. The correct answer here is option C. Noun phrase. A prepositional phrase is composed of a preposition and a noun phrase, which is a sense property in which two words have the same sense or same values for all of their semantic features. Example, teacher and instructor. Hyponymy, deixis, anaphora, synonymy. The correct answer here is option D. Synonymy. Two expressions are synonymous because many or all of their semantic features are the same. American. Are you a Filipino? Filipino. Yes, I am. American. So you must be a nurse. What concept explains the conversation? Referent, extension, prototype, stereotype. The correct answer here is option C. Prototype. A prototype is a typical member of the extension of a referring expression. After supper, the wife asked the husband, "Should I get you some ice cream?" The husband responded, "Am I diabetic?" What conversational maxim is violated? Manner, relation, quality, quantity. The correct answer here is option C. Quality. The speaker's contribution about his not being a diabetic seems to be not relevant to the question. What can be said about a polite expression such as, "Can you give me a glass of water?" It is an indirect illocutionary act. It is a direct illocutionary act. It is an implied illocutionary act. It is a non-literal illocutionary act. The correct answer is option A. It is an indirect illocutionary act. Polite expressions, particularly directive acts, tends to convey the meaning, the illocutionary act, indirectly. In second language acquisition, what is the road to pidginization? What is the road to pidginization and fossilization of errors? Nativization of assimilation, nativization and accommodation, denativization and assimilation, denativization and accommodation. The correct answer here is option A. Nativization of assimilation. Schumann proposed the pidginization in L2 acquisition results when learners fail to acculturate to the target language group, that is, when they are unable or unwilling to adapt to a new culture. Teacher Betty justifies the inclusion of grammar in her lessons. According to her, it should be an integral part of the curriculum. What theory of second language acquisition explains Teacher Betty's justification? Nativization and accommodation, accommodation theory, communicative language teaching, monitor model. The correct answer here is option D, monitor model. Monitor hypothesis of the monitor model of Stephen Krashen points out the importance of knowledge about the language in order to monitor or edit one's language use. Teacher Judy examines the reading selection that she will discuss in her class. She reads the selection to check whether the language and vocabulary might be too difficult for the students to understand. What theory explains this? I+1 hypothesis, scaffolding hypothesis, readability test, emergent literacy. The correct answer here is option A, I+1 hypothesis. Monitor model proposes the input hypothesis, which explains that an input becomes an intake if its difficulty level is a step higher than the current abilities of the students. Teacher Mary learned in her graduate degree class that language learning could also be a result of cognitive processes, or the act of knowing something. Which of the following is the result of this principle? Content-based instruction, T-suggestopedia, peripheral learning, total physical response. The correct answer here is option A, content-based instruction. CBI is the result of the cognitive revolution in language teaching. The teacher considers feelings of anxiety, fear, and shame that may hinder second language acquisition. Which method can help the teacher address the concern? CL and CLL, task-based language teaching, communicative language teaching, CBI. The correct answer here is option A, CL or CLL. CL or CLL is a methodology aligned with the principles of affective domain of language learning. TBLT, CBI, and CLT focus on the use of content, communication strategies, and thinking processes. Teacher Eric believes that if the students in school would force their habit of speaking in English in the manner they speak Kapampangan, including accent and vocabulary, it might lead to fossilization of errors and eventually lead to a linguistic phenomenon known as code mixing, code switching, pidginization. The correct answer here is option D, pidginization. Pidginization is the creation of a unique language system among individuals who have assimilated the rules and structures of their first language in using another language for communication. In which class is code switching allowed? Audiolingual class, communicative classroom, grammar translation class, TBLT. The correct answer here is option B, communicative classroom. In CLT, errors are regarded as natural and are not always corrected. TBLT also focuses on fluency more than accuracy, but correction also takes place in the performance of the task. What is the indication of hypothesis testing in language learning? Acculturation, error, input, utterance. The correct answer here is option B, error. Error is a manifestation of language testing in language learning. When learners internalize the structure and test the rule, they may commit errors. Which of the following is a manifestation of covert grammar teaching? Audiolingual method, communicative language teaching, task-based language teaching, silent way. The correct answer here is option A, audiolingual method. Primarily, audiolingual method teaches structure covertly through drills, repetitions, and substitutions. The activity is hinged in the idea that a learner unconsciously grasps the structure and eventually builds upon it other possible utterances for communication. Which of the following supports English for specific purposes? Competency-based education, organizational competence, peripheral learning, scaffolding in language education. The correct answer here is option A, competency-based education. ESP is aligned with competency-based education. Specialisms in English are based on the communication demands of the student's course. Based on principles of first language acquisition, which of the following should be taught first to students? A, plural regular, possessive, present progressive, simple present. The correct answer here is option C, present progressive. Parker and Raleigh point out that the order of acquisition for grammatical morphemes follows the sequence: present progressive, prepositions in and on, plural regular, past regular, possessive, and contractible copula, be articles a and the, past regular third person singular, contract and contractible auxiliary be, contractible auxiliary be, and contractible copula be. In the first language acquisition, the following are considered language developmental milestones during the pre-linguistic stages except babbling, cooing, scrying, echolele. The correct answer here is option D, echolalia. All items are considered milestones of pre-linguistic stages. Echolalia is a condition in which a child parrots or repeats utterances he hears. What semantic change is reflected in the word queer? A queer case was solved by Sherlock Holmes. He is such a queer. Association, metaphor, pejoration, taboo. The correct answer here is option D, taboo. Parker and Raleigh list the various types of semantic change. Taboo involves stigmatizing a word or phrase. Metaphor is extending a word to context outside of its literal sense. Association with secondary object or concept. Pejoration is lowering the connotation of a word. Which of the following quantifiers modify plural nouns? A, many, B, each, C, every, D, many are. The correct answer here is option A, many. The quantifiers every, each, and many are modify singular nouns. The word of functions as an adverbial particle in which structure? A, their on and off relationship. B, we put it off too long. C, off with you. And D, you're off the hook. The correct answer here is option B, we put it off too long. The particle of modifies the verb put, as in put off. Which of the following is an example of a sentence fragment? They fought. A family just moved in. The boy and the girl's uncle quit it. The correct answer here is option C. The boy and the girl's uncle. All the other items are sentences. In which of the following sentences does the verb be is function as the intensive verb or copula? Don is annoying. Don is fooling around. Don is annoying me. Don is going out of control. Alright, the correct answer here is option A. Don is annoying. All the other items use the verb be as an auxiliary verb. Which of the following are optional constituents of this sentence? The kind history teacher surprised us with an extraordinary reward. Kind history teacher. B. Kind surprise extraordinary. C. Kind teacher reward. D. Kind history extraordinary. The correct answer here is option D. Kind history extraordinary. Deletion is the basic test for distinguishing obligatory from optional constituents. Optional constituents may be deleted without affecting the grammaticality of the sentence. Which of the following cannot function as intensive verb? Make, seem, turn, remain. The correct answer here is option A. Make. The other options function as intensive verb. What is the function of the underlined constituent in the following sentence? Jake dreads wild animals and the zoo. Obligatory complement, optional modifier, indirect object, optional complement. The correct answer here is option B. Optional modifier. Optional constituents may be deleted without affecting the grammaticality of the sentence. Which of the following concepts is not a concern of syntax? Lexical categories, smaller units called constituents, structure analysis, distribution, and function. The correct answer here is option A. Lexical categories. Lexical categories relate to the words or vocabulary of a language. Which of the following types of words does not fit into the categories of determiners? Articles, possessives, prepositions, demonstratives. The correct answer here is option C. Prepositions. Option A, B, and D are special class of words that limit the nouns that follow them. Prepositions connect words to other parts of the sentence and have a close relationship with the word that follows, which is usually a noun. The following are linguistic mechanisms that Halliday and Hassan point out in order for text to have cohesion, except reference, ellipsis, substitution, genre. The correct answer here is option D. Genre. Genre refers to linguistic variation which is aligned to register. What lexical processes is exemplified by the following? Joe removed dust from the desk equals Joe dusted the desk. Compounding, conversion, polysemy, derivational affixation. The correct answer here is option B. Conversion. According to Sells, Morsia, and Freeman, compounding is putting together existing words to form new lexical unit. Alright, I hope you have learned something in this video. Watch out for my other videos about English grammar. Thank you very much for watching. See you again.